Hey guys, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, good.
I'm doing great. So I love the show. I talked to Shay and Mike, like I think it was 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and I had told them that like I have my comedy shows I rewatch, and I was like I was gonna fit Primo in with it just because I like instantly was like I can just keep watching this over and over again. And so I want to know from both of you, what is your favorite thing about like getting to be a part of this series and get to tell this story in particular?
Martin, you want to go first?
Sure. Yeah, sure. It's really exciting. I was really like stoked to be able to one portray like and honored to portray this character that was inspired off of Shay's like real life best friend,
Mhm.
Miguel, same name and everything. And obviously to work with this team was really exciting. Mike Schur and the whole team over there at Three Arts and Universal. And Shea Serrano, I was familiar with his work from The Ringer. So it was super exciting and like I said, I felt honored to be able to portray this part.
But yeah, I mean, to go off that, like, and we're talking about Mike Schur and David Miner and Morgan Sackett, and like, I would like skip class in college to watch Parks and Rec and 30 Rock and stuff. And so, right, yeah, and so to be able to like work with them and like work on something that they're doing, yeah, it's still kind of unbelievable.
Yeah, my cat's name is Benjamin Wyatt the cat. So when I walked into the Zoom, I just was like holding my cat like this is Benji.
This
No,
is
but
your
it's like,
creator.
hi, this is Benji. But yeah, I think there's these shows have such like a heart to them that I didn't realize I really was missing after like Brooklyn Nine-Nine and The Good Place had ended. That the minute this started, I was like, oh, this is like that's that show I was like missing because like Abbott Elementary filled it in a way, but I was like, but yeah, it's also really nice to have both the Mike Schur show and Abbott Elementary on TV at the same time. But I do love how the show kind of brings you into this family. I accidentally called Rafa Primo in my interview, but I was like, everyone calls him Primo on the show. And so I was like, I don't feel that bad. Everyone, that's his nick, that's what his family calls him. But when you guys are kind of making that tight knit unit of like friends and like all these characters are so like quick with one another, what was kind of the dynamic on set in like making you guys as close as you needed to be to bring these characters to life in the way we get to meet them?
Think it happened pretty fast, honestly. Even on our first day, our first scene was with the four of us, the kids
Mhm.
at least, and it felt easy. But we also did hang out like the night before, and so I think that certainly helped. But it just everything, it struck me that everything just felt so easy stepping into it, and that's because of the writing and how well it's written, but also we were able to kind of connect with each other and find stuff that we had in common and stuff. It was pretty easy actually.
Definitely, definitely. I would add to that as well. I feel like the writing is there, like, the comedy and the development of characters, it's there. So it helps because we're creating this banter, but we're just trying to find the rhythm to it. And it was easy to do that because we had such great writing. I think off set as well, like even with the uncles, like being um just kind of like in the green room and stuff, all their banter and they're so funny. And some of them do stand-up comedy and stuff. So it's just it's so immersive the entire process. And we're just like constantly just developing our characters and then we're able to translate that on screen as well. So that's been really fun.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned the uncles. I think one of my favorite moments of this whole show is like when the one uncle is trying to describe like something that like the food tastes like and it's wrong. And they're all like, no, no, no. And then he finally says a movie and they're like, yeah, it's like that one. Like now you got it. And it's just how he keeps it's so funny because he just kept doing it and they kept being like, no, no, no. But the show has a lot of those moments where you're just like, this is so funny because no, they're not stopping doing this bit that clearly wasn't working in the beginning, but works by the end of the scene. So for you guys, what is kind of the moment in the show where you were like, yeah, this is very funny and like I'm very excited to be in this?
There's a
oh, sorry, you go ahead. Yeah.
there's a lot of those moments that you just described. I feel like that's
Mhm.
probably the majority of because all of their personalities are so intricate and so different that you have all these different perspectives that conflict with each other, and that I think that brings a lot of like the comedy to it, and this fun, like I said, banter. So yeah.
Yeah, like even like reading the scripts when we get it, like I'm
Mhm.
reading it and laughing out loud while reading it, which does not happen, right? And so when we're reading it, it's funny. During the table read, it's funny. And so like even when we're shooting it, it's to see it all come together and what everybody kind of brings to it. And then even on set, a lot of there's a lot of improv as well with the uncles trying to the scene that you were talking about with Broly talking about it's like da da da, but like in your butt. I heard that he was, Johnny had just a bunch of stuff ready for that, and so that's just kind of how set was. But it was all it's just all so funny.
Yeah, I am. It truly is one of those shows that I'm like, "Oh, I think people are gonna love it because it's just so quick and fun to kind of
Yeah.
sit and watch through. And so, for one last question, really quick, what do you guys hope like a series like this brings audiences when they get to see Primo?
I mean, you kind of touched on it before, but it's how warm and how heartfelt it is. And obviously, because it is about family and it's about growing up. And I want people to kind of connect with that while also being, like we talked about, also very funny. And so to be able to kind of do both of those things is I think the goal here. I think that's what we're trying to do.
Nigel, you stole my words, but yeah, it's it's so like yeah, it's so funny. Like, and I think it's what's really cool about the show is that if you watch it again, you find new jokes, and you're just like, oh, I didn't even realize that was the reaction to this, or they threw that in there. And aside from that, at the end of each episode, I feel like there's a message that's just heartwarming and kind of comforting. And I think that's what if people can step away and just enjoy this and be immersed inside of the story and have a couple of laughs as well as like these heartfelt moments, I think that's what I would want them to take away from.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for talking with me today. I really appreciate it.
Oh,
Oh,
thank
thank
you.
you. It's nice to meet you.
So
Yeah.
nice meeting you.